Coach Kev, he been tough, and it's good. I think I grew, and I learned a lot from him. I think this week we had a conversation, just about things. You know what I'm saying? Just about things in general, and I feel like, we grew to understand each other. We share different things. That we both will go through. So I know he wanted this win, and I know he wants every win, but I know this one means a lot.
I hope the win yesterday did mean a lot to Kevin Stefanski because it was his final win in Cleveland. Unless, of course, he returns as the head coach of the opposing team and kicks the Browns' ass on their home field. And with this being the Cleveland Browns, one of the worst franchises in professional sports, that future outcome isn't just entirely possible, it's likely to happen. Earlier this morning, the Browns announced that they were firing Kevin Stefanski. This was not a surprising decision. If you read the article from Cleveland.com this weekend that featured an interview with Myles Garrett, the only real star on this roster, well, Uncle Casey, that's just not true. What about Shedeur Sanders? He's a huge star. Yes, Shedeur Sanders might be famous, but he is not a star player. He's not an impact player. But anyway, if you read the interview with Myles Garrett with Cleveland.com this past weekend, you knew Kevin Stefanski was done in Cleveland. When the face of the franchise, when the cornerstone of your defense, which is the only reason the Browns were able to win 5 games this season, Browns had one of the best defenses in the league. They were easily the best defense in the AFC North. Problem is, their offense was offensive. Their offense was the drizzling shits. When the face of your franchise is unwilling to come to the defense of your head coach, when the only star on the team is telling the media that he has had more downs than ups with Kevin Stefanski, when Myles Garrett is telling the Cleveland media he doesn't know if he can win with Kevin Stefanski, you don't need the assistance of a microscope to read between the lines. We don't need to pay $1.99 a minute to call Miss Cleo to have her predict the future. Kevin Stefanski was unofficially fired before he stepped on the sidelines yesterday. Anytime a head coach loses the support of their star player, and this is especially true in the NBA, anytime a coach loses the support of the star player, the hot seat becomes a flaming ass fire. The coach is done. Outside of a handful of elite head coaches, it is rare for an organization to choose a coach over an elite player. But Kevin Stefanski, he might not be the only one who sees his career in Cleveland buried. Myles Garrett revealed something else to Cleveland.com which could be detrimental to the future of Shedeur Sanders. Before he signed his extension last offseason, Myles Garrett was demanding a trade. With Myles Garrett nearing the end of his NFL career, he obviously wants to play for a winner, which is why it was so confusing when he decided to stay in Cleveland, because the Browns haven't won a damn thing in the 41 years that I have been alive. Ownership. They were able to convince Myles Garrett to stay by guaranteeing that Joe Flacco would be the starting quarterback. That is insane! Joe Flacco sucks! He's old, he needs to retire. This is Shedeur's team, damn it! No, this is Myles Garrett's team. Unfortunately for Shedeur Sanders, Daddy Dion is not the patriarch in that locker room. In the Browns locker room, Myles Garrett is the daddy. And Dad was brutally honest in his interview this weekend. He told the media in Cleveland, "I am not going through a rebuild," which means It's time for Shedeur Sanders to wake up from his dream of being a starting quarterback in the NFL, because the dream is over. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Fluffernoggin. I'm not a big snacker. I don't eat a lot of junk food, but if there's one time of the year where I break this habit, football season. One of my favorite snacks to eat while I'm watching NFL Red Zone on Sunday afternoons, beef jerky. Problem is, a lot of beef jerky tastes like you're biting into a flat tire. Good news is, I no longer have that problem because I started buying gourmet beef jerky from Fluffernoggin. Now, you're probably wondering, what the hell is a Fluffernoggin? Fluffernoggin is gourmet beef jerky that's 100% made in the USA. You don't have to worry about consuming foreign cows because all these cows are homegrown. Each recipe from Fluffernoggin is handcrafted with the perfect amount of seasoning. First beef jerky I have ever tasted that literally melts in your mouth. Fluffernoggin comes in a variety of flavors, ranging from mango habanero, Korean barbecue. They even have a flavoring of craft beer. Or, if you're like me, you'll stick with the original style flavoring. So click the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Use my promo code BTL30, BTL30. Receive 30% off your first purchase with Fluffernoggin. With Kevin Stefanski being fired and with Myles Garrett demanding to win now, the future ain't looking good for Deion's baby boy. Unless you have a quarterback firmly in place, like the Jags with Trevor Lawrence or the Cowboys with Dak Prescott, Caleb Williams in Chicago. If you don't have a guaranteed starter in place, most head coaches, they want to select their guy. With their career being on the line and the quarterback position being the most important position on the field, most head coaches, they want to select someone that they can trust. They want a quarterback who fits their system. They damn sure don't want a constant distraction, which is exactly what Shedeur Sanders is. Through no fault of his own, Shedeur Sanders is a distraction. If the Browns hire a rookie head coach, the first question the media is going to ask, will Shedeur Sanders be the starter next season? There's no way you can bench him, right? Shedeur wasn't the reason that the Browns were one of the worst teams in the league. It wasn't his fault. Deion's baby boy was great. The dude hasn't even met Shedeur Sanders yet, and the media will already be applying the pressure. They will already be demanding that Shedeur Sanders be named the starter for next season. The problem for the Browns, Deion's baby boy gave the media just enough. He gave just enough flashes, just enough glimpses. He gave the media just enough ammunition to make their case. For example, yesterday afternoon, Skip Bayless. Hey, it's me, Skippy B! Yesterday afternoon, Skip Bayless was on the verge of busting a load. Did you see that? Shedeur Sanders led the Browns on a game-winning drive. Oh, I love this kid. To hell with Tim Tebow. Shedeur Sanders is my new obsession. Yeah. Shedeur Sanders led the Browns on a game-winning drive. But the other 3 3/4 of that game, Shedeur Sanders was the drizzling shits. The Browns scored 20 points yesterday. Shedeur Sanders was responsible for 6 of those points. Their elite defense put up the other 14. But KC, it's not his fault. He was surrounded by practice squad players. The offensive line was banged up. How do you expect Shedeur to perform in these adverse conditions? He was set up for failure. This is exactly what we always talk about with quarterbacks. To me, there are two types of quarterbacks in the NFL. Quarterbacks who can win with enough help from the team, and quarterbacks who help the team win. Derek Carr is a prime example of a quarterback who needs everything going his way to win. When the team is healthy, when the offensive line is giving him time, when running backs and receivers are making plays, Derek Carr looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But when his center, Eric McCoy, gets injured, Derek Carr struggles to win a damn game. I don't want to hear the excuses for Shedeur Sanders, because I just watched Tyler Shuck go 5-4 while playing mostly with practice squad players. Hell, yesterday, his only reliable weapon was Juwan Johnson. If you watch the Saints, you already know Juwan Johnson is unreliable. His other receivers were unloading baggage at the airport when the Saints arrived in Atlanta. And Tyler Shuck damn near beat a healthy Falcons team on the road. As I've watched his progression this season, Tyler Shuck is starting to remind me of how it was watching Drew Brees. Now, just to be clear, I am not comparing Tyler Shuck to Drew Brees. I'm damn sure not saying that Tyler Shuck is the next Drew Brees. What I mean by that, it doesn't matter how much the Saints are down. Doesn't matter if it's 3rd and 15. Doesn't matter if the Saints are down 14 points with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. With Tyler Shuck, the game is never over. You have this belief that Tyler Shuck is going to find a way to win. With Shedeur Sanders, you have to find ways for him to win. And that is the massive difference. Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, they're in a similar situation to Myles Garrett, but they're coming back to New Orleans next season. They're not leaving New Orleans to chase a ring with a contender. Why? For starters, they are loyal to the organization, but they also believe they've got a winner at quarterback. Chase Young believes he's got a winner at quarterback. Alvin Kamara, same thing. Do you have that same belief in Cleveland with Shedeur Sanders? Look, I'm not saying that Shedeur Sanders cannot be a starter in the NFL. I don't think he proved anything this season, but he's a rookie in a bad situation. And now you got a new head coach, new offensive system, and you've got the best player on your team demanding to win now. Can you win now with Shedeur Sanders? The answer is no. To win consistently in the NFL, you need a quarterback that can elevate the team. At this stage of his career, Shedeur Sanders just can't do it. The team is having to elevate him instead of the other way around. So if you're the Browns, you're essentially choosing between Myles Garrett and Shedeur Sanders. And that is an easy choice. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.